who says low-fat food cannot be fun? Sue Kreitzman is here again with a fantastic recipe. This looks great.
This is fun.
This is good fun?
This is a very turn-of-the-century recipe because we're mixing our culinary metaphors. So it's Mexican, but it's also Chinese.
Mexican and Chinese, so that'll do me. I like both very much.
Well, it's an interesting combination. It's going to taste more Mexican than Chinese, but we're using an old Chinese method of smoking on the hob. Okay. So I'm going to start with chicken. This is going to be chicken fajitas. Repeat after me. Fajitas.
Fajita. I like chicken
It's spelled with a J, but if you say fajitas, you don't know anything.
Exactly.
Right? Yes.
All right,
so we start with skinless, boneless chicken. With all the little fat and gristle is cut off. That's very, very important.
Right.
Now, chicken can be horribly boring, but this is anything but boring.
Right.
I'm using the thighs rather than the breasts because I think they have a lot more flavor. They're much more robust.
They're also cheaper.
And they're cheaper, and you can buy them boned and skinned, but it's cheaper to bone it and skin it yourself and then throw away all that chicken fat no matter what the ghost of your dead grandmother tells you.
All right, then.
My dead grandmother's spirit says, don't throw it away.
Don't throw anything
but
away.
you do throw it away.
Okay,
yes.
so how do we smoke it
we're
then?
going to put a little spice mixture on it. This is my favorite mixture of spices.
Right.
It's hot paprika, a little bit of ground paprika, and a little bit of ground coriander. Sorry, I said paprika twice. Paprika, coriander, and cumin seed.
Right, paprika,
ground up
coriander,
together.
cumin. Okay.
And you rub it all over that. A little salt and pepper too if you want, but I find there's so much going on here, you almost don't even need that. Now, here's the magic part. We're going to smoke it.
So how do you do that?
You get a wok, just a flat bottom wok. This is not a traditional wok. This is the kind that you use on a regular hob.
Could you do it in a frying pan, or do you really need
You
to
really need a wok, but a
wok
wok is good for so many things. You might as well have one of these marvelous non-stick ones. Line it with heavy-duty foil. I'm using the turkey foil, really heavy-duty. And this is the smoking mixture. Smell it. It's so smoky already. Lapsang Souchong tea, and you can open some tea bags if you don't have it loose. 3 tablespoons of that, 3 tablespoons of brown sugar, 3 tablespoons of plain white rice.
Right.
Put it in there, a steaming basket, just one of these little inexpensive folding jobbies. Yes, put that right there.
Okay.
And put your chicken in the basket. Fold it up and cover it really well. Now, this is important. You really want a lid for your wok. We couldn't find a lid, so we're just going to do that. Okay. Because the kitchen will fill with smoke if you don't cover it, and everybody will curse my name. So please, cover it really well. About 7 minutes on high. Then you turn it down 7 minutes on low, and then just take it away and let it sit for about 5 minutes.
Off the heat?
Off the heat. At that point, it will be unbelievably smoky, but still not cooked through. So you finish it off on a grill pan, and that's what I'm doing here.
And do you use any sort of fat or anything to cook that?
I use my famous oil water spray. Remember that? You shake it and you spritz. So it's about 7/8 water, 1/8 oil. I use extra virgin olive oil always. But just remember, whether it's extra virgin or totally debauched, it's still fattening. So you just want... That was a joke. But it really is still very fattening. So you just use that little spritz. Now this takes just a few minutes to cook through. You know it's cooked when it feels firm yet springy. If it feels quite hard, it's overdone. So that's too late. If it feels mushy, it's not quite done. It does make a lot of smoke. You can see there that's still pink. But I'll give it another minute, and while it's cooking, I'll explain what we're going to do. You want some tortillas, which I have warmed in the oven. Now, tortilla that's the original floppy disk. Look at that. It's very ancient.
And you can just buy them in the
You can. You buy them. It's marvelous. You find them in all. There are wheat ones and there are corn ones, maize. For this, I think the wheat wrap very nicely. The corn are delicious, but they tend to fall apart. So you take your floppy disk. And you'll need lots of interesting garnishes. I've made a quick salsa here with those wonderful flavor tomatoes that I love it. They call them vine tomatoes.
You said tomatoes and you're an American. That's amazing.
I've learned. I've been here 15 years. Tomato. It doesn't sound right. You say tomato.
Tomato, and you say tomato.
I say tomato. We've got it all mixed up, don't we?
So what's in there?
Tomatoes. And it's the wonderful, they call them vine tomatoes, which really makes me laugh because all tomatoes grow on vines. But these are particularly tasty. So you quarter those and you mix it with a little balsamic vinegar, which is not Mexican, but so what? A little bit of chopped red onion, a little bit of herbs. I use chopped flat leaf parsley and chopped coriander. And you just let it sit for a few minutes, and it's absolutely gorgeous. So that will go on the tortilla along with grilled peppers. And instead of sour cream, now this is not really Mexican, it's Mexican style. Everybody likes sour cream in their fajitas. In Mexico they would blanch at the idea, but we do it anyway. So I'm using fromage frais, the very low fat kind, mixed with, again, coriander and flat leaf parsley. This is telling me that it's probably done.
I think so.
So let's turn it off.
The good thing about this, the reason I really like this is you make little parcels. I love food that you kind of use your hands and you do. You know, you make a wee parcel, put the chicken in, put all these gorgeous things in.
And it's a bit of a mess, which is fun. That's why we have some
messiness. Messiness is good.
Napkins
That's
around too. I better give you one right now, because it's going to make a big mess. Right. So we. Oh, it's gorgeous.
Yeah, that does look nice.
It's beautiful, just done. Yes. I already made some ahead of time, but I can share a little lime juice on there too.
That's lovely.
That's for us to taste.
Oh, good.
Yes, and the idea is you put a little bit of everything, grilled peppers.
I think so.
And what I do sometimes is I make guacamole with green peas. Fresh peas instead of avocado. Now, it's not that it'll be exactly the same, but it is absolutely marvelous and fresh.
Well, I'm going to taste a little bit of this.
Please do.
It's lovely. That is brilliant.
It's gorgeous, isn't it?
And I'm a huge fan of this dish, and that is really, really good. How much less fat in this than a normal one?
Oh, so much less fat. I mean, you'll save at least 30 grams of fat. At least. Maybe more,
listen, hang on to that for me as always.
Look at that, it's dripping all over the place. Isn't that gorgeous?
Like that. That's really good. I'll tell you what, more details on low-fat cookery can be found on Teletext page 643. Sue, thank you very much indeed.
It's a great pleasure.
Don't let anybody touch that. Don't let anybody touch that. Now,